Hey, welcome to the channel. Today we are looking at something a little different. This is coming out very soon, and our friends at Freewell sent this over. Now, Freewell, if you don't know, they make quite cool camera accessories. So we've always liked them because they just make stuff that is either very interesting and unique, or stuff that just makes filming a little bit easier, than sort of ever before. So today they've sent us this. I wasn't going to review this, but they emailed me, and I thought this is really interesting. This is the Freewell Locking VND and CPL filter kit. Now, essentially, I'm using the Pocket 3 to film today because I've got this kit on my camera. I've been using it over the last few days, and it's actually a very, very cool thing. So let me tell you exactly what it is. So essentially, you have ND filters that can screw onto your camera. They help you get that buttery smooth motion, that motion blur that we need. Or you have CPL filters that you can put on your camera lenses as well. Well, what they've done is they've created this single lens kit, and it's as easy as taking it off like this. So how it works, essentially, you screw on this first ring here. This is just a 67mm thread on my Sony ZV-E1 on my 20mm lens. You put that on, and then this enables you to attach the various filters that you can have for this camera. So this is the first filter. Let's talk about this. This is the VND filter with CPL. And all you do, I'm just going to show you this, you sort of push in these little notches here, and they mean with one hand, you can just simply put them on your camera like this. You want to take it off, add another filter. It's as easy as that. And look how secure this is. Really, really secure. So this is why I wanted to show you this today. It's just a really cool, unique product. And before this, if you want to use an ND filter, you had two options really. A screwable one, which is what I tend to use a lot of the time. They're actually pretty good, but they're kind of limited, because if you want to add another filter on to make it stronger or change to a snow mist filter, you have to unscrew them or screw another one on. It takes a little bit of time. So if you're filming a wedding, maybe some corporate stuff, or a film, and you just need to quickly add on some more ND, it's as quick as doing that, pinch and you're ready to go. So I thought that was pretty cool. So some of the stats about these filters, let me tell you this before we look any further. So firstly, they're not magnets. They had some previous ones. If you saw our previous video, they had a magnetic filter kit, which was actually pretty cool, but came with a couple of flaws. It was like easier for them to fall off, or easier for them to fall off. It's kind of fixed that. There are no magnets on here at all. They simply use this catch to go on. That's pretty cool. They are the world's slimmest profile locking VND set at the moment. That can always change, but they're the slimmest at the moment. And they come with these little kits. So where's my little box gone? So they sent us through, and they did send us to review this. We're not being paid. This is not a technically sponsored review, even though they did send the products. So they've sent us this. This is the VND kit. This one comes with VND, a CPL, ND32, a white balance cap, which I'll show you, and an 82mm thread adapter. Now I needed the 67, so that's something you'll have to buy separately. And then they've also sent us, and they dropped my phone there, they've also sent us that 67mm thread adapter, which I mentioned, and the snow mist filter. So let's say you've got the ND32 and you want to put it onto this filter here. All you need to do is just check out the side there. You've got this little white line, and you have these Freewell parts here. You just need to line those two up. So just squish in the little side bits. We're going to pop that on like that. Just make sure it is on. I would say this is like not quite as easy as they show in the videos, but it's still very, very good, very, very quick. And once it's on, it's very, very secure. So you can see we've got that there. So now we essentially have ND32 on there as well, which can be controlled by the original outer ring. Also in this box, another couple of unique things which I think are worth mentioning is they include this lens cap adapter, which can sit on the back of the lens caps. This is kind of like a white balance card, so you can white balance your camera for video or photography. And there's something really cool, which is really simple, but on the actual lens cap itself, there's a little NFC button there, or not a button, just an icon there. If you tap your iPhone against that, can you see there? It pulls up a direct link so you can get customer support, FAQs, and little videos to teach you how to use their stuff. I think that's a really, really cool feature, because how often are we out in the field, we're filming, we're trying to use a bit of gear, and you can't quite remember how something goes together or how it works, you don't need to take with you the instruction manual or try and work out the serial number or the model number of something. You can just tap your iPhone against this, and then you've got the full support right there on your phone, so that's pretty cool. So next up, I'm just going to switch quickly to the ZV-E one because I want to try out this snow mist filter they've put in the box. Now, I do like using snow mist filters. It kind of blooms the highlights a little bit. So some are very, very subtle, some are a little bit too strong. I've been out using the NDs and the CPLs, so I haven't had a chance to use this yet. So what I'm going to do is try it out with you in the studio, see how it looks with these little lights I've got behind me, and then we'll get a few more shots tonight in St. Ives when the lights are going down in town. So let's put it on now. Okay, so we have switched to the Sony camera. We are using the Freewell lockable VNDs on the camera right now. I've only got the single VND on at the moment. What I would say, it seems quite a lot that the first stop is quite dark. So I've put the ISO up to 1000. F-stop, actually, let me put that down. I can put that down a little bit, there we go. It's helped a tiny bit. Now, just take a look around me at the lights. And what we're gonna try out next is putting the snow mist filter on. Definitely see some kind of shift, slight color shift. Looks slightly warm on my screen. I haven't obviously looked back at this. Those lights at the back, yeah, they're definitely blooming. So look at this little lamp up here. You can see that. So it's doing a good job at least of blooming it, but it's whether the bloom is too strong or not strong enough. Okay, I've come down to the C to show you exactly what the CPL filter can do. So this has ND and CPL built in. Now, ND is like sunglasses for your camera, like we've mentioned before, but a lot of people don't know what a CPL filter is. And essentially, a CPL filter is going to help you see through things. It's going to give your camera X-ray vision through water and glass. So if you're filming an actor, maybe you've got two actors sitting in your car, if you film from outside the car, you'll notice that you'll get really bad reflections from the windscreen, and sometimes you can't see the person inside the car at all. If you're filming water, to your naked eye, you may be able to see through it, but when you film with your camera, you'll notice it looks kind of glassy, you can't actually see through. So what you want to do is adjust the ND filter to get the right exposure, and then just gently push the little tabs in here and then spin the CPL. Take a look through your camera's monitor and you'll see as you turn, as long as you're in the right angle to the sun, the water or the windscreen or the glass will get a lot clearer. So let's get a few shots now and I'll show you exactly how this works. So even here, it's not actually a very clear day today. It's very cloudy, as you can see, but I can see all of these stones here with my own eyes. But when I look through the camera here, you can kind of see through them, but you can see a lot of white reflection coming through. So I'm just gonna hit record on this. I'm just gonna adjust the ND so that we are coming down to like 0, about there. And then I'm gonna spin this around and you'll see as I adjust this, the water looks a lot clearer there. If I spin this back round, you see it has that kind of white glassy feel to it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So as I spin this, you can see it's a lot clearer right there. So I'm gonna walk around, get a few more shots. We'll test this out further. And you know, from what I've seen so far, the quality of this lens is very, very good. And I like that it's built into the ND filter as well. It saves you screwing one on, screwing one off, and all that kind of jazz. You can just simply take the whole filter off like this, and then use those clips to pop it back on. Simple as that. It's nice and secure as well. Okay, so I've turned the camera around, and as you can see, it's a pretty bright day. Even though it's pretty cloudy, the sun is right behind those clouds there, and that's causing me to be in shadow. It's very, very bright. And if I want to get a shot of Mausel over there, if I didn't have this on, let me hit record. I'm just going to take these ND filters off. You can just see this shot is completely overexposed. You wouldn't get anything there unless you took your, your f-stop all the way down. If I even take that down to f22, it's still overexposed. So you really do need an ND filter, not just to get those nice motion blur that we all want, but just to get a nice exposed shot, to be honest. So if I put this on now, you can see that at f1.8, it's still overexposed, as you'd probably expect, to be honest. I've got the ISO to 80. We can adjust, and you can see it's overexposed there. If we adjust it all the way around to its maximum stops, it's still overexposed a little bit, so I'll probably have to take this down to f3.5 there. And as you can see, we have a nicely exposed shot. We can see the clouds, we can see the sun coming through, we can see the sea, and we can see Mausel in the distance. So it shows you how super powerful, or how powerful an ND filter is. Now, what I would say is, if you are coming outside to situations like this, take the extra ND filter with you that you get in the pack and pop that on top of this one. That would make a massive, massive difference. But that is one thing to bear in mind. You can get ND filters that can cover a much bigger range that you can just screw into your camera. So if you're just looking for an ND filter, I wouldn't say this is like primarily the best as a kind of one-stop shop, something that you just pull out and just start shooting, because you will need to put that extra ND filter on in some situations. It'll be okay for most, but in some, you may need the extra one to clip on. Okay, now I've been using this for a few days. What do I think of this new filter kit, this clip-on filter kit? Well, I do actually think it's a lot better than the magnetic filter kit that they had before, for a few reasons. Even though I really did like that magnetic filter kit, it's very, very easy. It's probably easier than this to take on and off filters, but the problems you have are, one, it's very easy to nudge those filters off your camera. I found that a couple of times where I'd even just slightly nudged the magnet and you would get a bit of vignetting where the filter itself had slipped slightly and gone in front of the lens. Didn't happen all the time, but just something to bear in mind. And then the other thing is that if you are the kind of person who picks up a camera by its lens, the magnets would of course pop off and you might drop your camera. Didn't happen to me, but it's just something to think about. So these definitely clip on and off a little bit better. Now, the pros, I would say, definitely are that the glass quality is very, very good. The CPL filter is good. The ND is very good. The only downside I would say is that you of course do need both of those ND filters. You need to stack them on top, which is not a big issue, but it's just something to bear in mind. Maybe if you're looking for an all-in-one filter, I don't think this is it, but this is a very good filter if you do more professional work and you actually want CPL filter, you want to add on quickly, snow, mist filters, that kind of thing. This is the kit to get. Now, the only thing I don't like about it personally is, for me, I'm a bit more run and gun, so I would probably go for a screw-on mount, an ND filter that covered a bigger range. And then the only thing that I've done a couple of times is I've not quite perfectly put on these clips, and I've noticed that one like that is loose. And it's happened a few times where it looks like it's on, but it's not quite, and you do have to check that. And then secondly, the CPL. I'm not a big fan of how you adjust the CPL. You kind of loosen up the filter altogether and then spin this around. I don't know if you can hear this, but it's not a very satisfying sound. It's quite a grinding sound, and I've not found a great way of doing that. Also, when you're doing that, a couple of times I've done it too much and the filter's come off. So nothing major. I would still recommend buying this, of course, but just a couple of little niggles there. If they could improve those for a future generation, that would be great. Now, if you want to check these out, I'll put a link in the description below. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one.